The scrum which surrounded one of the most famous women in the world was never going to go away. It remained like this until the very moment of her death, 10 months later.
It is a great privilege to have been invited to attend this conference, which is considering the issues of prevention and treatment in healthcare.
Ma'am, a government minister's home has said you're a loose cannon by supporting this campaign. Do you have any reaction to that?
Well, Jenny, I'm only trying to highlight a problem that's going on all around the world. That's all.
1997 was the last year in Princess Diana's life. Though no one knew it, the clock was ticking and the final countdown had begun. It was just at this time, 10 years after first raising AIDS awareness, that Princess Diana had finally found a fully developed sense of purpose and mission. She travelled to Angola in Africa to draw attention to the thousands of unexploded landmines which routinely maimed or killed innocent civilians.
I believed in you. I believed in you.
I think that Diana's landmines campaign was the most supreme moment of her career, because she really understood in those last years how to harness her global celebrity towards a cause that she could then genuinely help to change.
And they've uncovered a mine. Obviously this is buried, so you would never have seen it, you would have just had.
She took that on with such a zeal, really became very, very informed about it, and she did something really remarkable. In Angola, she walked in an uncleared minefield. And when one of the press said to her, we didn't get the picture we wanted, almost jokingly, because it was such a dangerous thing to do, she did it again. So she did it twice in order that they could get their pictures.
1, 2, 3, firing.
In March, Princess Diana and Prince Charles came together to attend Prince William's confirmation.
They were very easy in each other's company, and when the marriage was over, they were strangely able to relax, as if a weight had been lifted from them both. And by that stage, certainly Diana was talking about Camilla as no longer as a Rottweiler, but as my husband's lady friend. My husband needs her.
She pretended to be reconciled to the breakup with Charles and his relationship with Camilla. Deep down, she wasn't really. She never gave up on Charles. She still loved Charles right to the end.
Whatever the truth, it was the last time the couple were ever to appear together in public. Less than 6 months later, Prince Charles would be bringing her body home to England. Barely a month before her own funeral, Princess Diana was attending the funeral of murdered designer Gianni Versace. Later in August, Princess Diana visited Bosnia as part of her landmines campaign.
It may have been because the headlines were far-reaching, but it was a subdued princess who began the last day of her tour in Bosnia. It could also have been because of the mine victims she's been meeting, like 15-year-old Mrzeta Gabalic, blown up by a landmine. The princess may also have been apprehensive that the large media pack following her were more interested in matters elsewhere than in the plight of Bosnians. Some came too close. "Please don't," she asked.
It was to be her last public engagement. By now, Princess Diana had struck up a relationship with Dodi Fayed, son of the Harrods boss Mohammed Al Fayed. Hasnat Khan had cooled towards Diana in mid-1997, and she and Dodi had then struck up a relationship. Dodi offered glamour and wealth, and at the end of August, they were holidaying together in the south of France. Back in Britain, Prince Charles was throwing a 50th birthday party for Camilla.
I think Diana's behaviour on her Al Fayed holiday is rather significant. I mean, she was very much look at me. She put on leopard skin swimsuit. She bounded about in front of the press. And this was really to take the limelight away from Camilla and the 50th birthday party. And so she was kind of cocking a snook at everybody.
She really went with Dodi Fayed because A, she thought that it would show the world and men who didn't appreciate it that she had a boyfriend who was mad about her. And secondly, and here was the biggest irony, she thought that the Fayeds offered protection. She felt that they had the bodyguards, the private planes, the helicopters, all the toys, as she put it, that would somehow be commensurate in a way to her life as a princess.
It's a sad irony that when it really mattered, the Fayed bodyguards couldn't protect Princess Diana from her fate.
Flanked by an honour guard of French soldiers, the body of Diana, Princess of Wales, leaves Paris. A simple white wood coffin draped in the royal standard. This was the end of both fairy tale and tragedy, an end that is still shocking nearly 24 hours on. The Prince of Wales took her back, and the plane left France for England, leaving behind a stunned city and a stunned continent. Diana, Princess of Wales, is dead.
The scenes of mourning for Princess Diana were eloquent testimony to her extraordinary status as a global icon. She had achieved more than any Spencer could ever have imagined possible. Though she had not become Queen of England, she had conquered the world. She had engendered in quite literally millions and millions of people around the globe the feeling that in some way they knew her and loved her. And they grieved for her as though she were part of their own family. The anger towards the House of Windsor for the way she had been treated felt perilously close to open rebellion against the crown.
Well, by the time that Diana died, and in fact, I'm afraid a few years before, the royal family had really given up on Diana. They found her a complete and utter menace, was a threat to the throne. But you have to remember that unless you are born into that family, you are of royal blood, you are always totally expendable in their eyes. They are utterly ruthless, the Windsors. They will get rid of people, and that includes people who marry into them like that. They are not that important. I was told that when it was announced that she was dead that day in August, there was a great sigh of relief around the entire royal family. No, they didn't want her to die in a road accident. That was too horrendous. But she had her court, which was becoming more and more powerful. Really, she was taking on the royal family.